Good morning, YouTube. Well, I thought about it and figured, well, I have been meaning to show y'all what I've been doing up in that attic, but it's been very difficult for me to make the decision as to whether to bring camera equipment up in there, because when you're crawling around in an attic with no planking and you're just going over joists, you pretty much need every free hand you have, because falling through an attic floor is not any fun, especially with the other floor about 8 to 10 feet below that. But I'm going up there today just for the purpose of showing y'all what I'm contending with up there in the wiring. You'll have to excuse my eye. I got some kind of thing going on with my eyelid. A couple of follicles got infected, and it's just, oh, it hurts like hell. But the show must go on, so y'all just have to excuse my gimp eye until that thing gets better. But anyway, I'll get my gear on, and we'll crawl up there. We should have enough daylight. It looks brighter in the camera than it actually is. We're right at like 7 something outside, as far as 7 o'clock something, and sun's not quite up, and you need all the light you can get up there. But I'll get my gear on and get back in my coveralls, and we'll climb on up there, and I'll show you what I have to contend with. I'll show you how they wired things supposedly in the 40s. Actually, I don't even know if they did it that way. I think this is how Billy Bob, whatever the hell his name was, did it. And be prepared to be scared.
Okay, I don't know how well you can hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me pretty well. But we're about to climb up that ladder. There's all manner of floating debris in there. There's about 7 different kinds of insulation up there. So you have to wear some kind of a mask. I know there's no asbestos, but there's every other kind of insulation particulate you can think of. And I think I got this thing set up a little too loose down on top. Let me set my things. There we go. Now it's sitting. But anyway, we're going to climb up, and I'm going to show you what's going on up there, just so you know, it's scary. I didn't know half this stuff was wired the way it is. So let's go on up. And I hope you guys can hear me. Sadly, the mask doesn't have any microphone. The breathing is a little more labored in it. So, yeah, I sound like Darth Vader, but you got to breathe hard enough to get the valves to trip. And I wouldn't even attempt this without this. This was the key piece of equipment I was waiting on before I could actually go up there and do the work, because you don't want to get in the middle of that stuff and start to breathe that, because that'll wreck you for the rest of your life. However little bit it leaves you with breathing that stuff. But one of the things that's really interesting about this mask is this mask removes everything. You don't smell anything when you're in this mask. And then you'll come down out of the attic and you'll take it off, and every smell in the house comes back to you, and it's like, whoom! So let's go on up. I'm going to go position the ladder and set it up, and we'll climb up, and I'll show you the world of hell that I'm working in right now. And I'll show you all the ways you shouldn't wire things. And I don't know if it'll blow your mind or not, but you might go, how the hell did that thing run without the house burning down? So, here we go. Okay, we're about to go up. Here's the ladder. I'm going to go up. I'm going to push that in. You can see little bits of insulation. It's an old style attic. No retracting ladder. So we're going to climb the ladder. God, I wish I had a GoPro, man. It'd be nice to have a helmet cam. But we're going to power wire at the top of the ladder latched in so we can hook up into the fluorescent light that's up there for providing general light. It's not a ton, but it'll get the job done. Okay, so we're going to climb up here. We're going to pop it in, and in we go. Alright, so here's what we got. And this thing, you got to open it a certain way. Just a thing in there. And yeah, that's what I was afraid of. We don't have a ton of light up here. But you can see way down there. And way that way I got a fan in there running now. Let's see if we can get our power cable hooked up here. Get us some juice. Well, we had a bit of a snag. Seems our power cable doesn't want to supply. I'll have to go get it, but I have my little work light, so I'll just show you. This is what I have to contend with. Look at the way this is wired. That way the hell over there, it's all taped. This yellow wire is new wire. It's tying into some older wire that was in better shape. But you can see all the different kinds of insulation in this thing. They just, whatever they had in their hands, they just stacked in here. But everything's being rewired into junction boxes. New wire. We have a solar circuit. It's on that top box, I believe. Yeah, that's the solar. And the lower box, that's just rewiring into all this stuff way the hell down here. I haven't even begun changing that stuff out there out. But I'll show you a closer view of what I'm talking about how some of this stuff is wired. Okay, back again. Oh, gotta pull this ladder back. We're gonna line that up just so. Right about there, yeah. Got the power to the lighting fixed. Let's see if I can give you a better view. Make sure my mask is seated right. Yeah. Now here's the thing we discovered after. Couldn't see it when we bought the house. They didn't disclose it. But this house had a fire. Thankfully the timbers were not damaged. They were able to get it under control. It looks like mostly soot. It also had a tree fall through the roof. And they repaired the roof. But when I first came up here, there were pine branches and crap all in here from the tree that fell through. But yeah, so we're going down there today. We're gonna try to wire in the outlets along the back wall. That circuit hasn't been linked yet. And yeah, I'll show you something. I'll show you what I work with every day here. So here is a very good example of how they wired this. This is not the worst example of how they wired it, but it's not live. Everything's de-energized. Barely any tape, barely any insulation. This is a power feed coming in. The wire's been pulled up from down below. There's nothing on the other end of this wire. And this basically fed the light and the switch leg, which has already been put in a junction box. If I can see it, way over there. That's been fixed. It's been taken off this old circuit and it's been put on the solar power. This feeds two outlets. Fed the switch leg, fed an outlet on the wall below us, and fed another outlet in the bathroom. All daisy chain, but all of it is this crap. this crap. Some of the wiring in this house, and I can't get to it right now because I'll have to do a crazy act to get through there, but some of the wiring in this house doesn't even have tape on it. They rely on the stiffness of the wire to hold it apart, and didn't even put tape. And this is what I'm finding all through this place, everywhere. Everything is wired the same way or that other way. This is just a bag of insulation, some of that old insulation. I have to clean this as I go, because you can see, look at this insulation. This is crap. Total crap. I think they just hauled it up through the attic door and just threw it wherever they could. Whatever bits. I don't know. Some of this, it looks like this all came from different places. Maybe they had another house they robbed it out of or something, but and the animals have been in it and just all manner of shit. But that's what I'm contending with all through the house. Everywhere there should be a junction box, you find crap like this. And some of it has tape, some of it does not. Some of it has tape that rodents have gnawed through. On and on and on, all the way down. So I got 2 more rooms. I got to wire. That over there has also been fixed. I got to secure that junction box because now the wiring's sound. But it's all like that. But yeah, it's all like that, all through here, every bit of it. You know, just bad stuff. And you have to go a little at a time because it gets damn hot up here. In fact, it's hotter than blazes, even with the fan over there going, pumping air out. When that tin, this roof up here, it has tin on the other side of it. FEMA came out here before we got the house. The other reason we didn't know about the roof damage. And they put a new, it has a heavy gauge galvalume roof on it. And we just had no idea. There wasn't enough light up here really to tell, and flashlights. We didn't have an LED flashlight, so we had the yellow with a bulb, so we couldn't tell how bad the burning was. But that's what we got up here. So that's what I'm rewiring. That's just so y'all know. I'm not bullshitting about it. It's a big mess up here. It's a big mess, got to fix. All the wiring here, except for some of it. I'm going to try to save my battery a little. All of the wiring, but some of it is the old 1940s wiring. And it's just that old rubber wire wrapped with cotton. But it looks like somebody came along here at some point in time, because you got that white wire, that's new wire. And they just tagged into that old cotton wrap wire where they couldn't pull it out of the wall, keep the outlets intact. And you just get what you get. The bad point of that is the rodents have pretty much eaten up that cotton wrap wire, except where it's vertical. There's not much rodent damage in the vertical wire, but everywhere that it lays horizontal, you can find rodent damage, here, there, and everywhere. So I'm going to climb down out of this mess, and I'll conclude with y'all, because I'm going to climb back up here with both of my hands, and I got to get back on this, because it is one hell of a mess. And also it's dangerous trying to do this with a camera going. Like I said, there's no handholds, and you have to skip around from joist to joist to do things. And also the day's getting hot, so if I'm going to do anything, I got to do it now, because when that sun gets up, then no fan in the world can get this place cool enough to work. So y'all take care. I'll conclude down at the bottom. We'll see you in just a sec.
So there you go. I had told y'all in a previous video what was going on up there, and I wanted to show you I can't show you while I'm working because, like I said, I don't have a tripod for this, and there's no way I'm going to try to do electrical wiring with one hand and hold on to a joist, you know, and hold the camera in the other hand, because that just isn't going to work. You can see the conditions I'm having to work in up there. And yeah, let me tell you, that attic ain't cool. It ain't cool, and it isn't cool on many levels. It's not cool temperature wise, and it's not cool running around in there. You don't do that as much. So once I get the power wiring hammered down, get everything in junction boxes, get everything organized where you can find something when it craps out. You have to excuse my eye. I did wash my hands. There's a lot of fiberglass up there, but the only way to really get around up there is with a respirator on. But once I get all that done, I guess go back up with planking. I'm going to go up with 2x6 planking down the middle of it so you can walk up there, you know, get where you're going safely. But I can't do that until I get most of the wiring handled, because it all has to travel down inside those pockets, you know, left to right in places. So we can't have planking until we get the electrical fixed. And oh man, is there a lot. I got the back rooms done. Right now, phase 1, I'm trying to complete that solar circuit so I can get, I've got all the lights except for maybe that one over there. Oh, you can't see it. Anyway, that and the kitchen are grid, but I'm fixing to take those overhead lights and I'm going to drop them off the grid connection, and I'm going to put them on the solar connection, which makes them switchable from grid to solar as needed. Because I learned during Hurricane Ike, you don't want to be feeling your way in the dark when you can just flip a switch and have your lights back, you know. And it also gets us less dependent on the electric company when they start jerking our chains. I learned through Reliant you can't trust the electric company. Back when they were, I think they're Reliant now, they used to be Centerpoint. God knows, they changed their names more than common criminals these days. But they were pulling a bunch of crap on us. They were feeding us one month and starving us the next because they were estimating, and then you get to a point where you can't handle that bill because it's like it's nothing one month and it's like boom the next month, or every 3 months, you know. They say, oh, we underestimated, so this is what you actually owe us, you know. So that was one of the reasons I went solar and I was in the city, was when they pulled that crap, I was just able to tell them, well, you can go pile sand, I'm just going to flip a switch and keep on going, and I'll keep in my pocket what you guys are trying to extort out of me after pulling this bull. And so, same here. I don't trust electrical companies. Any person that doesn't have some kind of power backup or some way to at least keep your lights up, and maybe 1 or 2 cooking appliances or cooling appliances, you're fooling yourself. You're in debt from the minute that meter's hooked to your house. So, yeah. But that's my ramble on this. But that's what I'm working with. I got this 1940s style wiring coming up through the walls, and then up at the top it joins. It looks like maybe 70s or 80s level wire, you know, newer wire. Extensive rodent damage. The house hadn't been occupied in 20 years before we got it. At least it looks that way. A lot of things lead me to believe that. The house was basically a throw-in with the land. The house wasn't even part of the value. Hell, the tax man didn't even include. He says, man, this isn't even occupiable. I can't even classify this as a house until you do some work on it and make it livable. So, yeah, even out here in the backwoods, we have to pay taxes. I'll try to lower my volume. I had to talk loud through that mask. And I hope, I'm going to check it when all this is done, but I hope that audio is clear enough that you guys can hear what I'm saying. But yeah, it's like what I was saying, and the reason I'm repeating it now is because I don't know. When I got